Yes, 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 gentlemen. Today, we're going to be talking about. Be speaking to you about. That time when you've achieved something big and it feels like a hollow victory, and you tend to fall off the wagon. Well, jump off the wagon, should I say? And we have that little bit of a anticlimax, that little bit of a low moment, when in reality we should be feeling pretty ecstatic, over the moon, joyous, but we don't feel that way. And we end up doing some dumb shit which kills our momentum, and we essentially fuck shit up for a short while. Our leads dry up, our content becomes a bit nah, and we don't get the sales, and everything, whether it's your fitness, your relationships, your business, starts to suffer because you've had this big fucking win. That sound familiar? Well, if it does, you need to stay tuned in. Right, let me get on this presentation mode. Internet. So I'm in Dubai at the moment. I'm in a Airbnb. It's a nice little apartment, but the internet's fucking shite. Right, let's put my phone on silent. Right, so all of you guys should know who this guy is. If not, where the fuck have you been? This is Tyson Fury, aka the Gypsy King. Now, I've heard Tyson Fury talk about this a lot when he's won championships, when he's won big fights, when he achieved something big that he should be really fucking happy about. The day after he wins, he feels like absolute shit. Tyson Fury's got a big history, and he's been outspoken in terms of mental health. He's got a big history with depression, wanting to kill himself, so on and so forth. Hopefully none of you guys are at that stage. But what I'm trying to say is he has these low moments, and it's completely normal. What I'm going to coach you through and teach you is how to stop this from fucking happening, and why it happens, more importantly. Once we understand the why, we can then look at the how. So, 4 pictures about me. Fucking hell, man. This does take me back. So on the left-hand side, that is me the first time I ever got in some serious shape. I'm 23 or 24 at the time. Young pup. Got in some phenomenal shape. This actually come about because there was 2 things that happened to me. One, I was on tag for some sort of criminal offence that I committed. I couldn't leave the house from 6 a.m. from 7 p.m. till 6 a.m. the next morning. So I'd come out of the house at 6 a.m. and I had to be in by 7 p.m. I had one of those cool fucking ankle bracelets. And yeah, that's one of the conditions that happened. The second thing that happened to me, I'd met up with a mate, Ula, yeah? A mate I went to college with met up with him after a long time. And the guy goes to me, bro, you look like absolute dog shit. I put on a lot of weight. I've been partying. So I thought, okay, I'm getting back in shape. And then that kind of coincided with the tag. And that helped me stay on the straight and narrow, and I got myself in some phenomenal shape. I did the research, I did the dieting, I did the cardio, I did the lifting, I did the steroids as well. I did a lot of steroids as well, a lot. And it got me in phenomenal shape. But off the back of that, once the tag was removed and I'd achieved the goal of being absolutely sexy, I jumped off the bandwagon. Notice I said jumped, because I chose to stop taking the actions that got me there. Nobody falls off. Nobody pushes you. You choose to stop doing shit that got you there in the first place. And that's what happened with you guys. The second picture, man, I miss that fucking car. I miss Veronica. Yes, she did have a name. Yes, I am one of those sorts of guys. Not every one of my cars has had a name, but just look at her. Just take a moment just to look at her. Sexy. Now, I bought this car after watching a film called Paid in Full. It's about a young set of lads in America, in New York City to be exact, and they were drug dealers, believe it or not. And one of the main guys, Ace Boogie, drove a blue. It was like a midnight blue version of these, but I think the red just looks better. Anyway, I found the right one. I went and bought it, and after that, once again, it felt like a hollow victory, and it resulted in me indulging in self-destructive behavior. You can see a pattern emerging here. The third picture, where I've got the Stony on, I've got the Prada hat on, I've got Prada shoes on. I was a designer kid. I don't really move like that anymore, not too much. Don't get me wrong, I've still got my nice pieces, but it was all about the image, all about my personal brand, because obviously I was doing what I was doing at the time, selling copious amounts of cocaine. Okay, but I wasn't really a holiday guy. I didn't really go away. And this was, I think it was December time. I went to Amsterdam with my partner at the time and had a great time. But once I got back, once again, had the blues. And on the right hand side, on the right hand side, man, what the fuck was I doing here? This is actually funny as fuck. On the right hand side, where I'm dressed like some mafia boss. See that watch I got on there? It's a gold Daytona, solid gold Daytona. Bear in mind, I'm 24 years of age at this point, yeah? I'm 24 years of age, and not everyone had a Rolex those days. Now, this was like a top end, top spec sort of Rolex. 18 karat gold, solid Rolex, Taisha mother of pearl face, crystal dials, all factory set, 8 diamonds in the dial. It was a daddy watch. It was a proper drug dealer's watch. And once I bought that, I even got a chain. You can see it. Who the fuck wears a chain with a turtleneck? I'll tell you who does. Empty. Empty wears a chain and a turtleneck. But anyway, after I had this event, this is actually a wedding. After I bought this watch, once again, lost that focus, jumped off. The funny story is, I went out that night and I lost that chain. I lost that chain, believe it or not. Good job I didn't lose the watch, because my fucking head would have been battered. But anyway, you see the point. I've had moments in my life, these are just a few of them, where I feel like absolute shit after I've achieved something big, something that I thought meant a lot to me. And those silence, where you think there's going to be confetti that falls down from the ceiling and everyone's going to be like, yo, fucking well done, man. And you might have that for a second, but then after that, there's silence and it's fucking loud. It's like the loudest what now moment ever. You ever felt that? You ever felt that? I have. And what used to happen to me is pretty much every time I turn into this Joker, that's a sick fucking AI generated image of myself. My mate Joel did that for me actually, because I'm not smart enough to do that sort of shit. But anyway, I'd end up partying, end up drinking, end up fucking staying out for 4 nights, 5 nights, feeling like absolute shit, losing track of who owed me money or where I needed to be, stop going to the gym, and I would feel like absolute death, like a loser, like an absolute loser. And that was me. That was my reality. And the reason was, these goals for me were a full summit. It was like climbing a mountain, getting to the top and realizing there's so much more, or the climb, the actual destination, not meaning that much. And it was similar to putting a ladder up against a really tall building, looking up, climbing the ladder rung by rung, painstakingly, climbing up, getting to the top and realizing I put the ladder against the wrong fucking building. That's what it was like. And that's what we feel like when we've achieved these things that we should really be happy about. But it doesn't feel that way. And this is how it shows up for my clients. What they tend to do is they stop celebrating their wins. And this is how it would show up for you. Everything becomes a bit shitty, even the small things that we typically find pleasure in. And that's why I'm big on journaling. This is the journal I send my clients, okay? And every single day, we fill in here, at the end of the day, 5 wins. Because this is what reprograms our brain over here. This is what reprograms our brain. It allows us to see the positive. It's like the whole red car thing. You buy a red car, you'll see load of red cars. Road of red cars. Try to say that fast 3 times. Load of red cars. Or when you buy a new model of car, you'll see that model of car absolutely everywhere. That's why we do the journal. But we stop celebrating the wins and everything, because we're not feeding our mind. Our input isn't positivity, isn't winning. It isn't that winning spirit. We start to become fucking losers. We start to become pessimistic. We start to become negative, because that's all we can fucking see. And negativity loves company. And it isn't just other people, it's our thoughts. Our negative thoughts love other negative thoughts and company. And we stop doing that. The second thing, we start changing shit because we feel bored. You haven't done that? Just start changing shit for no reason. That's what we do. You think about burning it all down. You think about my life, shit my life is. Think fucking wank this is. Fuck this off. I'm going to move to a different country and live at the bottom of a mountain somewhere and live off the earth. Whatever. And then you see other people at peace and wonder, what is it that they know that I don't? You start comparing ourselves. We start comparing ourselves. Okay? And that's what my clients do. Start comparing themselves. And that's not healthy either. And the worst part is you feel guilty about it, because everyone around you says, bro, you're smashing it right now. You're smashing it. I'm out in Dubai at the moment. I'm still grinding like a motherfucker. I'm still grinding, yeah? I'm sat in an apartment for most of the day at my laptop, but they say, you made it, bro. You're smashing it. But deep down, that doesn't sit right with you. You don't believe that you're smashing it. You feel empty. You feel fucking lost. But this is the truth. You built something that is solid. You built something that you wanted, okay? But the person who built it is no longer the one who wants to run it. The person that you are now doesn't want to run that thing, doesn't want to live up to that reputation, doesn't want to hold on to that victory. Have you ever wondered why? It's because the person who set those goals in the beginning was the old version of you. Your old beliefs, your old values, your old identity. And it was your old definition of success. But the time it has taken and the effort and the journey it has taken for you to achieve the thing from that old version of yourself to get to here, you've changed. You have changed. I sit with people on a regular basis who haven't seen me in 3, 4, 5, 6 months. They're like, bro, you're completely fucking different, because we are people who are heavily invested in personal development. And personal development, the nature of the beast is you will not be the same person you were 3, 6, 12 months ago. And if you are, you're just waiting to fucking die. Okay? Now, if you are geared that way, you want perpetual improvement, perpetual development. If you're on the mission of self-mastery, then the other side of it, the downside of it, is going to be that you are going to change, and your goalposts are going to change often. Unless you do this. The full summit detector. Now, what I've created is a tactical tool to get clear, can't get the words out, to get clear fast. Okay? And inside, it's a worksheet, but it's not any old fucking worksheet. If this is done properly, it will reveal some things about you that you didn't realize existed. Okay? What I'm going to walk you through is the moment that you disconnected from your meanings when you set your goals. The areas of your life that are still out of sync, or you've lost sight of, or you're not paying attention to anymore, that are making you feel a bit meh. The belief systems that you had, that had you chasing shallow wins. So whether the belief systems came from parents, from friends, from society, from social media, your new definition of success, that's what we're going to establish. That's the most powerful bit. And the version of you that has to go, that has to die, that has to be eradicated and eliminated if you are going to level up. And you have to shed your skin. You have to get used to shedding your skin. And people get really hung up about that for some reason. People think you've changed. People take offense. I take it as a compliment. So that's what I'm going to give you. And like I said, I've used this with CEOs, coaches, founders, and every time it unlocks something different. I'm talking different sort of sectors. We're talking healthcare. We're talking private care. We're talking tree surgeons, bricklayers, electricians, coaches. All these guys have found that it unlocks something different in them. The thing is, most business owners, most men aren't lost. They're just on the wrong trail. They're putting the ladder up against the wrong building. They're climbing the wrong mountain. They hit a goal, they look around and realize, yeah, this doesn't mean shit to me. It's not really the top. If that does sound like you, I don't want you to feel ashamed at all. I just don't want you to stay there. So what I want you to do is the link below, or in the next email, you'll be receiving the full summit detector. The full summit detector. And it's going to take you through that exact process, which I've covered here. Okay? Use it. Let me know how you get on. And if you want to work with me further or explore options in regards to what I offer, obviously I've got a no-nonsense approach. I love swearing. I love taking the piss. Then get in touch. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.